Hey, I'm Kate Stanford, VP of Ads Marketing from Google.
Oh, stop.
It's just a free flow.
I like it.
I'm sorry, I touched something. Personalization was obvious for me. The consumers are each day asking for more different contents, different products, adapted to their own needs.
With every pivot and zigzag over the past 18 months, and man, there have been a lot of them, if there's anything we've learned, it's that things can and do change in an instant. That means being adaptable has never been more important for all of us. That's true in our personal lives, but it's also true in our role as marketers. Whether it's keeping ahead of shifting consumer behavior,
so cute, that's why I ordered this one,
changing privacy regulations, or even just meeting new employee expectations, the question isn't whether to transform, but how. We're each asking ourselves things like, how can I get enough clarity to make the bold decisions I need to when times seem so uncertain? Now, of course, these aren't new questions, but they've for sure been heightened by the pandemic. And the standard answer to them has been digital transformation. But let's be honest, too often the term digital transformation is used as a buzzword. And if we're not clear what we mean by digital transformation, it's easy to imagine a long and complicated project. But at Google, we believe that what digital transformation should be is an ongoing and value-adding process, one that can simultaneously drive impact today and build resilience for tomorrow. We call this the route to ready. Of course, the way your business engages with digital transformation is going to be completely dependent on your needs and where you are in the journey. And the good news is that no matter where you start on the route to ready, these actions, either individually or collectively, can pay immediate dividends for your business. They can help you infuse agility into your plan and create marketing-driven growth for your company's bottom line. And in the process, you'll be future-proofing your business so you're ready for whatever comes next. And that's the beauty of treating digital transformation not as a one-time destination, but as an ongoing journey. Because as we all know, the one thing that's constant is change, and we need to be ready for it. Mondelēz recently embraced this route to ready. They're a company with a presence in so many homes around the world, including my own, with their portfolio of much-loved brands, like Oreo and Cadbury. But they're also an example of an effective digital transformation flywheel in action. Now, for Mondelēz, the entry point to the process was customer centricity, transforming their marketing strategy to evolve from a mass marketing approach to a more personalized and helpful set of experiences. This is something they call empathy at scale. I'm so grateful to the Mondelēz team who have joined us today to tell us a bit more about that journey. John and Martin, over to you.
I had forgotten how tall you were.
You forgot how tall I was?
Or small I am.
When we looked around, we said everyone in CPG is kind of doing the same thing, which is one mass message to everyone, and that's not working, and that doesn't make sense because people chew our brands differently, do things differently. I think if we had to go back and say, what were the catalysts for change? It was just becoming fairly obvious to us that there was a need for personalization. The world was becoming more diverse, people had more tailored needs in our category, and we needed to go out and serve them.
Totally, and I think the context we were in also played a big role, no? We were just launching the new company strategy, recommitting to growth, recommitting to consumer centricity. We were in a moment where actually we wanted to give a second step to our marketing transformation. Yep. 2018 was the first step, 2020, end of 20 was the second step. And we really wanted to insist again on putting the consumer at the center, no? And to this point of heart and science together, it was a good moment to do it. So empathy at scale was a great expression of that too, no? Not only the science, not only the pure numbers of ROI, but also insisting on creative excellence. How do you build consistent brands? How do you emotionally connect with consumers? So it was really the perfect moment, and I think it helped us reconnect all the different pieces of the way of marketing for Mondelēz.
Look, when You launch a major digital transformation, you're not going to have all the answers. But we don't let it stop us because we have deep conviction in what we're doing.
That was the right thing to do because it's a journey and we have discovered the steps afterwards.
There were some things that we got wrong when we launched personalization scale. Certainly we got great results, but we learned by doing all these pilots and we listened to the markets. I think it helped we were vulnerable and said, here are some areas we know we can improve.
We didn't have that image of future forward marketing. People were dying for it, but not daring to go there. So we were also in a moment where we were telling to the teams around the world, we are not going to bring you all the solutions and do the work for you. You will do it. And we had very good results, but we needed to move to the next level. Empathy at scale is a way to continue to rise the ROI on digital.
In the past, when you weren't doing personalization, you could run a very linear process. The big thing that's changed is you have to have a team on from the very beginning. Now, media is involved more upfront. Now, technology and data is upfront.
If you don't have the right data, you can forget about all the rest. One thing we did well and we want to continue to do is really open our doors very largely to our partners and in particular Google. We have learned a lot on how to make that partnership grow. I think we did a lot of progress in being very clear about what we wanted to achieve together. Learning how to dance together and how to get the best out of the partnership was a great journey.
And I think that's how you make such rapid, fast progress. And we've been really open and transparent about it. I think when we let partners like Google in, just like our agency partners, and really understand our ambitions and empathy at scale, we get more.
But you really need to connect great science with great art if you want to win. We can have a great personalization strategy, but if the creative is not there, the results are not good. So it's critical to jump, do, learn, iterate, and then one day, eventually, we will fully crack it. I don't think we will ever fully crack it. I think it will be a constant evolution.
Now, as you just heard from John and Martin, the journey to organization-wide transformation can start with a single consumer insight. For Mondelēz, their route to ready began with the insight that in order to not only survive, but thrive, they needed to meet each consumer where they were. With this insight as a North Star, they broke down silos and galvanized an entire company. From marketing to information business systems to finance to customer service, this clear customer-centric path created a more agile approach.
That will not make the film, I guess. When we developed empathy at scale, to me, the core insights was about really just looking around and understanding how consumers were changing. And it's not just about consumers and their choices. It's also about other trends. The world was changing from a digital point of view. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, what we can understand about our consumers.
What brands need to understand these days is that with data capture comes great responsibility. And as we capture more, the expectation is that we will deliver more. Data is foundational to empathy at scale. It's the way that we build upon our promise to deliver value to the consumers. When you have the suite of brands that Mondelēz does, it's not hard to get people engaged with the brand. What's hard for them to raise their hand and say, I'm going to give you something about me in exchange for something valuable. So what we're trying to figure out are what are the best ways to say, when Michael says, I really like Oreos, how can you then provide content around that will help them better their relationship with the brand and have the brand relationship be more engaging?
Really at the core of this journey was our ability to be more personalized in our message to the consumer, leveraging the endless possibilities of technology.
We look at the best ways to both educate our brands, educate our teams. We have data maturity boot camps, data education, and looking at where each brand and each market is on the maturity scale that we can deliver value to them that helps them ultimately scale the programs that we know will grow the business. There's no way that we could have built what we've built, implement what we've implemented, and look to the future the way we have without Google's support.
This journey that we are on, that really took us from mass marketing to empathy at scale. We were an average ROI company, and now here we are being a best-in-class ROI company, and I'm very proud of it.
Now, the magic of Mondelēz's story is that it's all about relationships. They redefined relationships both internally across their own business units and externally with customers. And they did so by putting data and insights at the heart of everything they did, and combining data with agile, creative, and automation tools. Now, while these results are meaningful, it's just one step in the digital transformation journey. So, what's next?
We don't know exactly what the future will be about, but if we are forced to answer what is the next big thing, I think commerce and really connecting commerce with our full activities in marketing is the one. For me, it comes back to brands, no? And seeing our brands growing, not only net revenue, but also seeing their equity starting to move and hearing people saying, oh, that's wonderful what you have done.
I think what's interesting, the work you see, I often see an example get done that becomes the lighthouse for others, and then other people imitate it, catch up to it, and then another BU will break out, and it just sets everyone ablaze to run towards it.
And that's what I love about our model, local first, but not local only, because I think the power, let's say, and the creativity needs to be in the business units. And if you unleash that, it's an incredible source of growth. We are very proud of what we have achieved, and it's not just because we like what we have done, we have real facts, no? So our improvement on ROI is very strong, more than 70% since we started the journey.
There's no new big thing, is what I say. I think empathy at scale is our big thing, because we are just at the very beginning, and there's so much more we can do in terms of unlocking our brand's potential, in terms of bringing our creative excellence to another level, connecting it with commerce. That's our future.
Mondelēz's focus really built a shared objective for the organization. The realization that the future of marketing is personalized has uncovered the next step of their journey, to double down on empathy at scale. Now, just like Mondelēz, your businesses and teams can discover and align around the route to ready that's right for your business, your people, your environment. Doing so begins a journey towards an opportunity to reinvent marketing as an agile growth center. Our goal at Google is to complement your creativity, determination, and aptitude, and provide a clearer path for you to continue to adapt to whatever comes next. Our solutions are created to help you move farther and faster. Solutions that use automation to help you capture rising demand opportunities across all of Google, like the new Performance Max campaigns, with ads tailored in real time to reach consumers at scale with relevant experiences, no matter what channel or device they're on, and all in a privacy-safe way. Now, changes aren't going to halt, and the future that we want won't design itself. But you can build your path to ready, and Google's here to help.